Deadliest karate moves. Number 1, the front snap kick to the shin. Here we take a low front snap kick directly onto the shin with our toes pulled back of the person attacking us. What is the resultant damage? It's going to have a broken shin or a severely bruised shin. Now I'm doing this barefoot for the purposes of illustration, but if you had on shoes and you front snap someone directly into the shin, they are going to be unable to continue to fight. Number 2, the front heel kick to the shin. This time we're not snapping forward with a front snap kick, but we're going to lift our leg and snap and hit with the heel directly on the shin. This is a very deadly kick. It'll tend to break the leg or break the shin or severely bruise the shin. You're hitting it with the heel. And remember, if you have on something like cowboy boots, this can be a very serious kick and do a significant amount of damage. What's the result of this kick? The attacker will be unable to stand and he will be unable to continue to fight. This is the front snap kick to the kneecap. Here we front snap kick, pulling our toes back, right onto the kneecap, or the patella as it's called. The result of this is you're going to have a dislocated knee, a broken kneecap, a sprained knee, torn ligaments, or torn tendons. And the result of that is going to be the attacker will be unable to stand and will be unable to continue to fight and will probably require surgery in order to correct a broken kneecap. So it's a very nice kick, especially if you have on boots or a very hard-soled shoe. Number 4, the front heel kick across the kneecap. Here we're snapping forward, but we're hitting it with the heel right directly on the kneecap. And we're sort of pushing the kick out and across his body. We're catching the actual kneecap itself with our heel and ripping it off of the body. This really hurts when you do it to someone, especially if you have on the boots and stuff. The damage is going to be a dislocated knee, a broken kneecap, torn ligaments, and torn tendons. Now what's the result of such a deadly kick? The attacker will be unable to stand and definitely won't be able to continue to fight. He will require surgery to correct the kick, the front heel kick across the kneecap. Now we have number 5, the front snap kick to the tailbone. This is done from behind the opponent, and you say, oh, you don't want to kick someone from behind, that's dirty. Well, street fighting is dirty, folks. We didn't get into a street fight so we could have a fair fight. We got into a street fight to win, to get this attacker away from us, or to save someone else's life. We're not here to have points. We're here to beat them up, hurt them, stop them from continuing to fight. You kick the person with your heel directly on the tailbone or the coccyx. The result, the damage is you're going to have a broken tailbone and extreme pain. If you hit someone with a heel directly on the coccyx or the end of their spine, it really, really does a lot of damage. And what's the result? The attacker will be unable to stand, will be unable to sit, and will require medical attention. So it's a great way to end a fight. A front snap kick directly onto the tailbone. Number 6, a front snap kick to the lower back. Now these are getting to be some pretty deadly kicks here, folks. I'm doing a front snap kick, I'm pulling my toes back, and I'm catching the person right at the lumbar section number 5, right in the middle of their back. This kick is outlawed in every single UFC or MMA fight or karate fight or any fight in a ring. It's just too deadly. It results in a broken back. It'll bruise their kidneys, and it'll cause extreme pain. This is the kind of damage that the result is the attacker could be permanently crippled and will require immediate medical attention. If you kick someone with a front snap kick in the lower back, you can break their back and put these people in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. So I don't recommend that you ever front snap kick someone with your heel directly in the lower back. The damage is just too significant, and it's just going to be a permanent damage. It's going to be very, very hard to correct. Let's look at number 7, the front snap kick to the ribs. Here the person is trying to jab you or something, and as he does it, you're going to take your toes, and you're going to hit with your toes, or you could actually hit with your heel, but right in the floating ribs as you snap your foot up and out. This is a very devastating kick, and the attacker will immediately fall to the ground. The result of the damage is he's going to lose his breath. He's going to have broken ribs. He is going to collapse right in front of you. I mean, I've kicked people in the ribs before in a fight, and it is devastating. It just takes the breath right out of them and just puts them to their knees, puts them on the ground where you can easily finish them. The result of such a deadly kick is the attacker will be unable to breathe for several minutes, will fall down, and might require hospital attention. We're talking about a direct front snap kick directly into the ribs of the attacker. This is a devastating kick. It's going to do an awful lot of damage, and it's going to end 90% of the fights that you're involved with. This is a terrific kick, number 8, the front snap kick with the heel to the chin. Now, this does require a lot of flexibility, but if you'll practice lifting your knee, you don't require as much flexibility as you think it does. You take your foot, you bring up your knee, and you snap it straight out and up into the chin of the attacker. This is a devastatingly powerful, dangerous kick. The result is a broken jaw, crushed jaw. You will knock their teeth out. You can, if their mouth is open, they can bite their tongue off. It'll smash their jaw into the bottom teeth, into the upper teeth. It'll do permanent, terrible damage. It'll knock them out 99% of the time. They will be out of the fight. You do a front snap kick with your heel to the chin of the attacker. They are in it. That's it. There is no more fight. The attacker will definitely be knocked out, and the attacker will also be have permanent, lasting damage with a broken jaw, crushed jaw, teeth knocked out, lock of consciousness. It's a terribly devastating kick. You need to be very careful when you do it. A front snap kick to the heel or the chin of your attacker. Number 9 is probably one of the more deadly kicks. So I don't recommend you doing this unless someone has a knife attack or unless you're in definite fear of your life, unless you are really afraid that something terrible is going to happen to you. This is a front snap kick directly to the throat of the attacker. I lift my knee, I bend it, I snap it up and straight into the larynx of the attacker. This is a terribly powerful kick. It will crush his throat. It will crush his Adam's apple. It will usually kill him dead. The attacker will die unless they're given immediate physical and medical attention. Never use this kick for fun. Never use this kick when your life is not in danger. If you front snap kick someone directly in the Adam's apple, the fight is over and their life is over. So I don't recommend you do a front snap kick to the throat unless your life is in danger. Here's a little safer kick, but can have really devastating effect too. This is the front snap kick. You can do it with your toes directly to the solar plexus or the pit of the stomach. You can do it with your toes. You can also do it with your heel. You bring your knee up and you snap it directly out and smash it right into the solar plexus, right under the heart of the attacker. This is a devastating kick. It will break their ribs. It will bruise their ribs. It will knock their breath out. It will cause them extreme pain. They will collapse immediately unless they have a terrifically hard stomach and are used to taking significant punches to the and kicks to the solar plexus. But I'm not kicking him in the stomach here. I am kicking him right directly under the heart. And I can do it with my toes or I can do it with my heel. The attacker, the result of this devastating kick is the attacker will be unable to breathe for several minutes. They will collapse. The fight will definitely be over. I have kicked people in the solar plexus before. It just finishes the fight. They cannot continue to fight because they cannot continue to breathe. This is a good kick. It's not going to permanently hurt them. It's definitely going to stop the fight. That's why it's number 10 of the deadliest kicks in martial arts. This is a terrible kick to do somebody, and I don't recommend you do it again unless your life is in danger. It's the front snap kick with the heel directly to the groin or the pelvis. You are smashing his testicles. You are smashing his pelvis. You are smashing his groin. The result of such a devastating kick is going to crush his testicle. It's going to break his pelvis. It's going to cause significant internal damage to the groin area. And let me tell you something. This is not something you should take lightly when you do this type of a kick. This will result in the attacker being unable to stand, and he might suffer permanent crippling injury. This could possibly put the person in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. You're not doing the next kick is going to be to the testicles, but this is directly to the groin with your heel, directly onto the pelvis. It's going to crack his pelvis. It's going to crush his testicles. It's going to cause significant, terrible damage to the attacker. So be very dangerous kick. Don't do it lightly. Number 12 is a front snap kick to the shin, with the shin to the testicles. On this one, I'm not trying to hit the groin or hit the testicles. I'm taking my entire foot and smashing it up as hard as I can, up and into the groin area of the attacker. This is a horrible kick. This causes permanent damage. It's going to crush their testicles. It's going to crack their pelvis. They'll never have children again. They probably will never be able to walk again. They will immediately collapse. They'll require surgery, and could be permanently crippled. Anytime you think about kicking someone in the groin, in the pelvis, or doing a hard front snap shin kick to the testicles, you better be sure your life is in danger, because this person is never going to be the same after this kick. It's going to permanently cripple them and damage them. So be pretty careful. Getting into a little nicer kicks here that are just as deadly. This is a side kick to the knee. I've had this done, unfortunately, to me in fighting in class, where the man snatched his kick up, caught my knee, and broke my knee. When you kick someone from the side, directly on the side of the knee, you're going to dislocate the knee. You're going to tear the ligaments. You're going to tear the tendons. You're possibly going to break the leg. They're going to completely collapse. The attacker will be unable to stand. They will not be able to continue to fight. And when you do a hard side kick to the side of the knee, they're going to require surgery to correct it. This is not a kick that is a kick that you would do lightly, because it's going to require it's going to do permanent damage, and it's going to require surgery to correct it after you kick someone with a hard side kick in the knee. Kick number 14, the side snap kick to the ribs. Now, I've used this a lot of times in fights and a lot of times in sparring. It works really good against a boxer who is doing a lazy jab out there and who is standing back a little bit too far. I'll set them up where they do that lazy jab, and I'll smash that kick directly up into the ribs with my heel, directly onto the ribs. It's wonderful to watch what happens. It breaks their ribs. It causes possible internal damage. It knocks the air out of their lungs. They're going to be unable to stand. They're going to be unable to breathe. It just takes them right out of the fight. They're going to collapse right in front of you. I'm telling you, you have to be a hell of a man to let someone side kick you, a side snap kick directly, hard as they can, right in the floating ribs. If you notice there, I'm kicking him right in the floating ribs with the heel of my foot. This is a devastating kick. He is going to collapse. It's going to end the fight. They are not going to be able to continue to fight. This is a horrible kick. One of the more effective kicks. Again, this is a deadly kick. This will kill them. We don't do these kicks lightly. You would never do this kick in sparring. You would never do this kick in class. You would never do this kick unless your life was in danger. This is a side thrust or a side snap kick to the throat. If you kick someone with the heel in the throat, it is going to kill them. It's going to crush their throat. It's going to break their Adam's apple. It's going to put them out of the fight, and it's going to put them out of this world, probably. The attacker will die unless they are given immediate medical attention. A side snap thrusting kick to the throat. Remember, we did the front snap kick to the throat. This side kick to the throat is even more deadly. I mean, it's just horrible what's going to happen to this person. They are going to die. It is going to permanently, they'll talk like this the rest of their life. It's a terrible kick. Never do it unless your life is in danger. This is a kick that requires a lot of flexibility, and I've seen it used in the UFC and in martial arts fights before. This is a side kick to the jaw. Bam! I pop it up, bite right into his jaw, catch him right on the side of his jaw, right near his ear. Boom! It's going to break his jaw. It's going to knock his teeth out. It's going to knock him completely unconscious. This is the end of the fight, folks. If you side kick someone or directly in the jaw, they are going to be knocked out for several minutes. They're going to require medical attention. I've got kicked in the head with some fighters here in Dallas. Mr. Guy Metzer one time side kicked me in the head. Thank goodness I was leaning backwards. I mean, he did it standing directly in front of me. Just lifted his knee, pow! Snapped it right out, right into the side of your head. You are in big trouble, folks. If someone is flexible enough to side kick you in the jaw, believe me, that's the end of the fight. It's not going to kill them, but it's going to knock them out. It's going to break their jaw. It's going to do significant damage, and it's not something that you should do lightly because it is a deadly kick, and it is going to end the fight absolutely. This one is a little more deadly and a lot nastier. This is a side kick directly into the face. Here I bring my leg up, I thrust it, I catch him right between the eyes with the side kick. Oh my goodness, this is a terrible kick. This is going to knock his teeth out. It's going to break his nose. It's going to black his eyes. It's going to crack his jaw. It's going to knock him completely unconscious. It might even, kill the person. If you can get a direct side kick to the face, and a thrusting side kick at that, or a thrusting back kick side kick directly between the person's eyes, believe me, they're in significant trouble. The fight is over. They're definitely going to be knocked unconscious. They're going to have a broken nose. They're going to have their teeth knocked out. They're going to require surgery. It's a very deadly kick, and I don't recommend you do it unless your life is in danger.